Aquarius, hi, welcome. It's Erin Scott here with the Alchemy of Holism. It's a night of impromptu readings. Welcome. We're doing a little smudge here with some Palo Santo to start the session, okay? Now, this is impromptu. What I'm doing, I was doing client recordings, these potions, these videotaped potions that I'm doing. And it really sporadically came forward that I want to do some for the channel. So for the month of December, instead of art channelings, which I had advertised in my newsletter that I was going to be creating for this new moon cycle, it's going to be these potions. Okay. And for those that are interested in getting your own potion, you'll be able to experience it here on the video, but also you can find the information below. Okay. But it felt right. The spontaneity of coming forward in here with the candle light and the music and my turmeric tea, it all resonated. It was the right thing. It's been a long time since I've done an alchemy scope, but this is essentially a little bit different than the alchemy scope. It's similar, but it's a little bit different. It doesn't have the I Ching as part of it. So now what I have next to me here are a selection of various cards. And when I do them personally for clients, different cards come in and it's very intuitively pulled for the individual. For these particular monthlies, I'm using what I was using today for my client before I launched into this. And I'm doing it pretty consistently for each of the signs with this potion, with these potions in December. So we're going to start with the Carolyn Myss archetypes, okay? And these that we're going to pull first, the growth edges, the prime growth, the qualities within you that are called to grow over the course of this December Sagittarius new moon cycle, December 7th through the beginning of January until the Capricorn new moon. So I'm just going to tap in here. It's for Aquarius for December 2018. And Aquarius, I'm not sure how many I'm going to pull for you yet. I'm going to play it by ear here. I think two. Child wounded is coming up again. Dilettante is coming up. If I'm not mistaken, Aquarius has received dilettante several times before. This is in the past when I was doing my alchemy scopes. So I wonder if it's the same sort of growth edge that's activated. Now, the first one out, Aquarius, was child wounded. Now, what I'll say is it's interesting because for a lot of the client potions I've been doing and for these public channel live streams, essentially, I'm recording it on the live stream. Child divine and child wounded are themes that are coming forward. You know, it is the now that is the activated generalized theme of growth. So for Aquarius, for you in the month of December, the shadow attribute, the thing that is in its default state, that is dissonant, that's misaligned, that's asking to be evolved, is blaming all dysfunctional relationships on childhood wounds. So it's blaming mother for doing that when I was a child, father for doing that when I was a child, childhood circumstances. That's to blame. I'm wounded now. I'm scarred. I can't go on, or I can't do this well, right? So it's a narrative that we hold, okay? Everybody has their wound story in this life and in other life streams. So we're all working with it. We all have wound stuff, okay? It's also about resisting moving on through to forgiveness. Okay, so it's about the difficulty in moving to forgiveness, and it's about a blaming of everything dysfunctional about childhood stuff. It's about wounds. It's reasonable in one way. In the small human experience, it's reasonable to do that. Most people do it. 99.999% of people do that. But it's not the evolved human. It's not the evolved mind, and it's not the free mind. The free mind is understanding that you are encoded with your own stories. This is your story set. And the people in our lives actually reflect back to us what we hold natally. It's part of our encoded narratives. So we all have to, number one, own our own narrative, even the trauma stuff. Okay. And there's a bigger reason why the trauma stuff is activated in our life in this particular embodiment. For you, it's a matter of getting to the place of some deeper understanding about the wounded child narratives that you hold, all the trauma stuff, okay? By the way, my work specializes in that. I specialize in cutting to the core, getting really clear about the narratives that are just natural to you. So for those interested in evolutionary astrology analysis, on different levels to really get deep and clear, you can be in contact. The evolution for you, awakening compassion within you and the desire to serve other wounded children. So it's about really getting out of blame and projection into ownership, and it's about helping others with that new mastery path. Okay, it's a big growth edge for you. Opening the learning path to forgiveness. It's also about developing a forgiveness reality within you so that you can, because really the forgiveness is for you. It's freeing you from the negativity that's held from the trauma. Dilettante is the other narrative coming forward for you for your growth edge, for a primary growth edge. The shadow attribute that's being held, a pretension to much deeper knowledge than you actually possess. So it's pretending that you are a master at this, or some sort of an expert at this or that. And certainly in the social media sphere that we live in now, and 2012, 13, 14, 15, and it's gotten exponentially worse, 16, 17, 18. Here we are in 2018, everybody's giving their master classes, etc. So it's something to just be discerning about, not only with others, but with yourself as well. Pretension of much deeper knowledge that you actually possess. Delights, what wants to be matured and evolved, delighting in the arts without having to be a professional. It's about doing it because you love it, doing it because you resonate with it, doing it because it's your bliss, alerts you to the danger of becoming superficial in your pursuits. So these two, Aquarius, are the core, and notice the colors. Notice the coloration, orange and kind of a brown orange, right? Orange is education. It's a color that speaks to education. It's connected to expansion of knowledge and education, but it's also, there's a quickness to it as well. So education and quickness, maybe superficial knowledge could be something that's connected to one of those two growth edges for you. Okay, Aquarius, so this is my Everyday Witch Tarot, which I've been using for the past year, although I put it away for a very long time, and it's just recently that I kind of brought it out again, and I really adore this deck. So I'm going to pull up a few themes for you for the month. This is for Aquarius for 2018. And Aquarius 2018. Beautiful. Great cards coming up. Interesting cards. These are your themes that you're working on. I'm going to pull one more. Okay, so you have the Lover's card, you have the Queen of Cups, and you have the Nine of Wands. So let's talk about those because they're individual, but they're also linked. I love this Lover's card. Again, this is the Everyday Witch Tarot. So this is, you know, kind of a young man and a young woman holding hands, as you can see, with the cats there as well. These cards have cats in all of them. But the Lovers is about choice. The Lovers is about right action. The Lovers is about what are you more ethically aligned with? What's the right choice for your truth right now? So there could be an issue of what's your truth, okay? With regards to perhaps a decision you have to make or even a relationship. Could this happen to do with a lover as well? Of course it could. But for a predominance of you, it likely won't. This has to do with what is right action. What is it that you resonate with that is out of the two choices? What's the right choice? What's the right action? What's the moral choice? The second card that came forward was the Queen of Cups, which I love this one as well. You can see the fish in the ocean. You can see the cats there. You can see the cat in the chair in the background. There's two cats in the background. She's holding a shell that has water in it, okay? So the Queen of Cups is about the mature, what do I want to say? What's the word? Housing. It's like you're able to maturely express your emotions, to feel empathetically, to understand intuitively. And it's based in a matured state of being, a matured emotional state of being, an understanding of your own intuitive knowing and trusting that intuitive knowing. There's also things related to the Queen of Cups like creativity, kind of a holistic wisdom. And this is, there was something else that I was going to say about it. Empathy and compassion, caregiving, that sort of narrative is also coming up here. So there might be some sort of choice with regards to something you care about that really appeals more to your feeling body, okay? Now, she's also pregnant. So like the Empress card, who is pregnant, she's also pregnant in the card. This also evokes that kind of Empress energy. So there's definitely a growing or a new birth that could be something that you love, that you care about, that is your passion. Could be that, could be creative. Here we have the Nine of Wands, okay? And again, you can see the cat up in the tree there. Okay, so the Nine of Wands is about standing your ground, but not just standing your ground. It's not like the Seven of Wands. It's more you've been through it, but you're determined to see it through with the Nine of Wands. It's like the energy is you're tired, you're exhausted, but you're going to keep going. There's a determination to keep going, to see it through to the end, even though you have battle scars and you're feeling existentially tired. Some of you are going to be feeling tired, right? Over the last couple of years, a lot of folks have been feeling tired, very tired. And for you, this is being tired, spiritually tired, but still willing. You're still standing and you're still defending your position and you're still going forward. We're going to get more information from the reading, because I think that there's more that wants to come out here. So let's go ahead And I'm going to pull from my palmistry deck for, this is just this strange little deck. The author is Cindy Solano. Okay, so this is the deck. It's a funky little deck. I picked it up at a little metaphysical shop. But it's great because it tunes into aspects of the body through the palm. Okay, so it focuses on the areas of the body on the palm. But of course, it speaks not just to the physicality, but also to the emotional and the spiritual body and the mental body, depending on what's activated. So let's see what an optimal focus for Aquarius would be for this month ahead. Luna, seek the deeper meaning. Luna, Aquarius, moon, okay, seek the deeper meaning. With the Queen of Cups coming up, we have that water element there. You can see the area circled on the palm, right? And that is the area of the palm if you apply acupressure to it, if you massage it, touch it, caress it, give it love and attention over the course of December, that it can help activate this for you, okay? So this is an optimal focus for your month. It's guided focus. So let's see with regards to Luna, what it says. Okay, so Aquarius, for Luna, the reflection of the card is, as you go through your day, do you ever ask yourself why something is happening rather than just taking note of what is happening? Okay. There are reasons behind everything in your life. Everything is functional. In natural systems, everything has function. There are reasons behind everything in your life. Do you get cut off by disrespectful drivers? Maybe you are supposed to learn patience or forgiveness. Do you constantly fight with your family? Maybe this is a mirror of how they are frustrated with you. Everything's always a mirror, by the way. When you can learn the lessons behind what is happening, you will no longer have to experience as often or intensely similar negative events. Become a good student of the deeper meanings. Feel away the layers one at a time. So what I'm going to say is this. Understanding the core of your soul structure is key, and understanding natural systems and how it operates with regards to the soul structure is key to your freedom. It's key to your healing. It's key to your wholeness. So what she says here is quite, it's quite fundamental, because everything, as within, so without. So if something triggers you, you know that it's an activation of something that has been, if something outside of you triggers you, you know that you hold the narrative because you've been activated by it. So you hold it, you mirror it. It is you. You're doing the same thing to yourself or to others in one way, shape, or form. That's just the way it works. As within, so without. As above, so below. It's always both and. If something happens and you're neutral to it, you know that it's not a growth edge for you now. Okay? So it's important for you to understand everything has function. Everything does. And everything has intelligence. Nothing is random. That's the other thing about this card that's almost a sub-narrative, okay? So Aquarius, everything has function and life, living systems, your soul, other people's souls, is self-organizing and it's intelligent. It knows what it's doing. Even though it might seem random and life events might seem random, it ain't random. Nothing's random. Things come together synchronistically for functional purposes. And it's part of the greater evolutionary journey of consciousness. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and use my Siri deck, my little chunky deck here. And we're going to pull a spread for you. And then we're going to pull a native spirit guidance card at the end, okay? All right, so for Aquarius, let me take a little sip here. For those interested, by the way, in understanding their natal encodings, archetypally, astrologically, symbolically, you can find the information below, okay? You can find the link below that will link you to the information. So I'm gonna spend, I need to, I didn't shuffle before recording here, so I do wanna spend a little time shuffling, pre-shuffling. Okay, so let me just tap in here. So that was just kind of a pre-shuffle. I wanted to get it clean. So for Aquarius for December, what I'm going to do is I'm going to tap into kind of potential unfolding scenarios that might be coming forward for you in December. Okay. Aquarius for December. Okay. Okay. Let's see what we have here. We do have some similar cards coming up. It's interesting. Well, one. And we have a couple maybe. There's some, this is what I'll say. There's definitely some similar themes coming up, you know, for the signs. There is an overarching pull for particular movement growth over the course of December. Okay, so you do have some stuff coming up, Aquarius. The Storm card is coming up. Let me take a look at underneath the deck too, okay? There seems to be a spiritual recalibration going on for a lot of you. Let me just take a look at this for a minute. There seems to be, for a lot of Aquarians over the course of the cycle, a lack of care or concern with community-held belief systems. And there's more of an allowance of nature happening for a lot of you, meaning that you're allowing natural process to unfold, and some of you might be connecting more to nature, okay? You're a little bit cautious of maybe false community, or like almost like a light washing. Okay, so like with the spiritual community, there can be a little bit of light washing, just like there's greenwashing with corporate entities that want to make it seem like they're very ecologically sound when they're not. There can be light washing occurring in this industry for sure. And it might be that for a lot of you, you're cautious of it, you're skeptical of it. And that's kind of the sub narrative going on. There's a perseverance of magic. This is what I'll show you out of the cards. There's a perseverance for you of, let's say, alignment with or understanding of magic or alchemy and higher forces. Now, the higher forces card talks about your higher self. It talks about the greater, it talks about the source field, essentially. It can also talk about, you know, extraterrestrials. Okay. And I say that it's interesting that it would come up for Aquarius, right? But perseverance of magic with regards to a bigger story could be something that's up for you. And you might be a little skeptical about some of the stuff, some of what's emerging down here. Now, keep in mind, before I do the reading, astrologically, and I mentioned this in the other readings, but I didn't mention it for you yet, that this particular new moon at 15 degrees 7 minutes Sagittarius is with Jupiter also in its home sign of Sagittarius. So there's a massive new seeding time at this particular new moon, not only for the monthly cycle, but for the annual cycle, that is all about belief system. It's all about our understandings of nature and natural law. There's a whole new seed. There's a potential to re-believe, okay? And that's going to lead some people to go off, if, you know, with some impassioned plea. Why? Because this particular sun moon conjunction at 15 degrees Sagittarius is pretty much exactly square Mars Neptune at exactly 13 degrees Pisces, meaning both Neptune and Mars are both at 13 degrees Pisces. So there's a square to this new moon. Mars is conflict and rage, aggression. It's behavior and reaction. Neptune is about spirituality, peace, imagination, the ideal. So there's a conflict narrative happening in Pisces, which is about unity and compassion and spirituality. So there's this internalized conflict happening for people and an externalized conflict going on with religious dogma. People that are certain that their way of believing is the right way, certain that their religion is the right thing. And all the while, that 13-degree conjunction of Mars-Neptune is exactly quincunx, a 13-degree conjunction of the asteroid Lilith, 1181, and Pallas Athena, the asteroid. Both exactly at 13 degrees Libra. It's an exact quincunx. So there's this uncomfortable relationship with this conflicted spirituality or anger, rage that we feel God's abandoned us. You know, for some people, this Mars-Neptune is creating a lot of anger around the fact that we have to suffer, that, you know, that there's this kind of obligation in this human bound narrative that there's suffering at all, that there's not this ideal, that there's war, that there's starvation, that there's corporate entities and archontic intelligence driving narratives. That's another story. But there's a lot of activity for this new moon, and it is seeding the whole energy for not only December, but for the year ahead. Okay. Now, for you, for some of the things that you could be experiencing this month, path of courage, eliminate freedom. There's things that you might be willing to eliminate to step into your freedom, Aquarius, okay? So with regards to your path, this is like what's next for you. That's going to be a focus for you, or it's going to be up, okay? It has to do with you stepping into a new phase of courage, but there's going to be some elimination that will be necessary perhaps this month. It could be that you leave a job, you leave a home, you leave a relationship, you eliminate possessions, It could be that you're seeking full freedom, and it could be that a lot of you are ready to just step up and out and do something different, okay? For you, for Aquarius, you're having the Mars-Neptune conjunction in your second house of security. So there could be this kind of spiritual conflict that really heats you up, fires you up, and you just say, screw it, I'm out of here. Some of you could be like that. In other ways, if you don't end up leaving something very distinct like a job or something, it could be that you're just wanting to eliminate that which doesn't free you. Eliminate the things that tie you down, okay, whatever that looks like. Spiritually, there's going to be some defensiveness coming forward internally. So for your spiritual process, some defensiveness with regards to the past. This could be trauma-based, you know. So some defensiveness with regards to past trauma, past stories, past experiences, past relationships, you know, and you might need time alone over the course of the December cycle. Again, it's come up several times for not only personal readings with clients, potions with clients, but also with regards to the readings here on the channel. Okay. So some defensiveness about the past that will require time alone this month. Emotionally, meditation, unusual. Meditation, unusual. Let me pull quickly. Let me pull a little clarifier card on that. By the way, the defensiveness could also be a little bit of this. You know, we talked about the theme of this Nine of Wands. This is also a bit of defensiveness because you're tired. You know, you've been through the mill. Let me go ahead. Unusual meditation. It could be that you start taking up. It could be TM. TM I wouldn't consider unusual, but it could be that a lot of you take up meditation, a style of meditation that's not typical. It could be too that you, I don't see anything here about going anywhere. I don't see anything about spiritual retreats. What is the unusual talking about? Ancient wisdom is coming up at the base of the reading, and that's your physical reality this year. Could be that some of you go to ancient sites. Some of you might be going to like an ancient site or a spiritual site or a vortex or something, and you engage. This could be to January as well. It could be that for some of you over the course of this holiday vacation time, some of you might take a trip to somewhere old, ancient. I'll show you the card in a second. Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands is coming up as the clarifier here. So meditation, unusual. Queen of Wands is the clarifier here, okay? And you can see from the unusual card, it's like the cat's there amongst the owls, which I love so much. You know what it might be too, is that because the fiery Queen of Wands, this is a confident queen, and she knows who she is. She's creative, she's humorous, she's dynamic, she's enthusiastic, she's energetic, she claims her power. She's here with the dragon, you know. So what I get is that you might be willing to engage in, let's say, you might be able to own your unusual emotions, your unusual contemplations, your unusual intuitions, because of the sector where it came up in the reading, this month with that Queen of Wands. I think you're willing to own your power. You're willing to own your confidence. There's more of a confidence coming out. It's like you're willing to just say goodbye to certain things that aren't working anymore, the elimination in that center part of the reading. You're willing to you're defensive about aspects of the past, and you're needing time alone, and you're willing to go into an unusual portal of meditation. This could be prolonged meditation, and it could also be, like I said, maybe that you go somewhere. Some of you might go to like an ancient site, some sort of a spiritual place that is connected to vortex energy, something like that. Not all of you. A lot of you are not going to do that. But ancient wisdom talks about, number one, indigenous wisdom, indigenous knowing, like the original human knowing of the connection to the cosmos, right? It's only modern human that's been disconnected from that. So that's what the card originally, when I made it, was intended to be. However, it's come up before in readings talking about place. And the reason being is that this is a picture of an ancient temple like in Thailand or something. It's in Asia. So with regards to your mental state over the course of the month, foundations, structures, your home, your work, your car, your computer, physical structures, you're thinking about them and you're moving through a process of upset about it. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. It could be that there is something that destroys. For example, the planet is continuing to move through great catalytic climate change, certainly weather change, but earth change, earth shift. Okay. There's all sorts of layers happening to alter the physicality of this planet Earth. And a lot of people, as you know, from the fires in California to floods that we've had around the world to earthquakes that we've had up in Alaska to all sorts of events that continue to unfold. I mean, in some way, shape, or form, some structural element of your life is on your mind and you're processing some sort of upset or storm around it, or an actual storm, of course, in the Northern Hemisphere and the Southern Hemisphere. I don't know about the Southern Hemisphere. Some of you are going to have to let me know. I don't know if this is a regular storm season in the Southern Hemisphere. In the Northern Hemisphere, we definitely have storms. And there could be some structural aspect to your life that is upset, that will be on your mind. And if we come back to the center of the reading, everyone, there might be some elimination that has occurred. Path of courage through elimination. See that? There's a path of courage that's needed to be taken because maybe things are being eliminated. For some of you, you've experienced fires. You've experienced loss of home and possessions. For others of you, you've experienced loss of home, possessions, cars, equipment, whatever it is, because of circumstances. Okay? And it's more and more prevalent that. So I feel that you're able to access a level of freedom. What has been eliminated might actually free you. Well, it will actually free you, but you might be able to get to the peace and the grace with that, Aquarius. I hope that makes sense. I hope that was helpful for you. It's going to be a powerful month. It's going to be a powerful year. 2019, 2020. 2020 is going to be quite a year. What I would say is for those wanting to dive deep, you can connect with my services. I have specials on offer for December with regards to 2019 analyses and a 3-year analysis, which has a special sale going on for 2019, 2020, and 2021 for your particular narrative, for your particular astrological encoding its evolutionary journey through that pocket of time. So for those interested, you can be in touch. Okay, Aquarius, so have a wonderful month. Go with the ride. I send you many blessings and I wish you a happy holidays, and I'll see you all soon for the next one. Bye-bye.